scoured Facebook Marketplace, and I found another pair of 243 heads. So with that, the head is now good to go. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't know if this bolt is gonna take 80 foot-pounds. But if that's spec, that's spec. And if we can't run 80 foot-pounds, I don't want to run this block. A little nervous, but very stoked at the same time. Alrighty guys, we're back in the garage. We are going to continue progress on the RX7 build. Scoured Facebook Marketplace, and I found another pair of 243 heads. The reason why is because I'm slightly concerned about destroying my current 243 head if I drill a hole and make one of the head bolts bigger. We're going to oversize the bolt by roughly 1 mil. So we're not talking a lot. We're talking a very fine amount here. So 1 millimeter is not a lot. We could have helicoiled the block, but if we helicoiled the block, then we're gonna have to go 4 thousandths bigger on the block size versus continuing to use that hole size with 1 millimeter drilled into the 243 head. So I chose to go 1 millimeter into the head versus 4 millimeters into the block. So that was the reason for not helicoiling, because I did think of that. Anyhow, right here are our bolts, 10.9 full M14 coarse thread. So they're all coarse thread. Should be good to go. Test one of these in our block, and it should just thread nicely right in there. Oh yeah, very nice. Beautiful. So next up, let's test the head gasket and see. It clearly does not fit. So I mean, it does if I thread it in there, but you don't want to thread it into your head gasket. In the meantime, we're going to open up some packages that just arrived. Here's another set of lifter trays. These are actually just spares. This guy right here is our belt for our air conditioning. This is like a toolkit to get it on. First off, we have our oil filter, because the one on my previous motor was different for some reason, so I ordered the wrong one. Right here we have a steel 16 AN bung. Right here we have 2 aluminum 16 AN bungs. This right here is a 14 mil drill bit. This is what we're going to use to drill out our LS head. Brand new oil filter. I think that this is going to be the right one. So let's give it a little test and see. Yeah. So just put it on there to test it out. Now what we're going to do is lube it up. Okay. And let's get it on. Okay. Oil filter installed. I got our block set up on here. This is not ideal at all. This is really all I could come up with. We're just going to send it. It looks like it's all the way through. Alrighty guys, so with that, the head is now good to go. So I had 2 different style bolts. I had this guy, which is like a flange bolt, and I had this guy, which is just a hex head. The hex head would fit in there perfectly. The problem was I could never get a socket in there to tighten it down, so that's problematic. This happens to be an 18 mil hex nut on the top, which I can get a socket onto, so we ended up doing that. But the problem was that the flange was too large, so I ended up taking this guy, which is the same bolt, and I cut down that flange around it. Alrighty guys, this is really the moment of truth here. We have our bolt, the one that we tapped the thread for. So what we're gonna do is we are going to drop it down in our hole and see if we can get it started all right. I'm gonna grab our little wrench here real quick. seems to be a little tight. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and we're gonna grind a little bit more. What we're gonna do is just a little bit more drilling on our head, and then we're gonna try this again. Head's on. Yep, that is all the way torqued down. Okay, so I'm gonna loosen that up again. We have ARP Ultra Torque assembly lube. We are going to definitely put that on our threads, especially on this particular bolt. All right, guys, I think it's time to send the other bolts in their home. We got our bolt right here, ARP bolt. Put some Ultra Torque on here. The other thing that you want to do is you want to look at your washer. Your washer needs to have this chamfer side. That goes on the bottom side. The flat side goes on the top. Top part of the bolt, you want to have some Ultra Torque on there. Not a lot, just like a little bit. Be careful when you're doing this. Okay, so I got it all the way down. I'm going to back it out 1, 2, 3. And we're going to follow that process for all of our bolts. Okay, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 10. Okay, time for our sketchy one again. 50 foot-pounds. Here goes nothing. Nice and slow. All right, 50 foot-pounds, we took it. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't know if this bolt is gonna take 80 foot-pounds, but if that's spec, that's spec. And if we can't run 80 foot-pounds, I don't wanna run this block. So we're gonna torque it all the way down to 80 and see what the heck happens. And my fingers, my toes, my thumb, my tongue, it's all crossed that everything works out. So turn our torque wrench all the way up to 80 big ones. There it is, that's it, guys, 80s right here. Here we go. I just wanted to click so bad. Oh! Oh, we did it, guys! Oh my God, 80 foot-pounds on our broken stud with our drilled and tapped. Wow, I couldn't be any happier right now. I think this motor has a chance of living. Now we're gonna take the last ones, the 5 back here, and we're gonna torque those down to 25 foot-pounds per the spec. And then this head is on the block and it's not coming off and it's good to go, which is amazing considering all the work that we had to do to get it here. So I'm so stoked. I can't even believe it, but I'm so stoked. I just hope everything lasts and everything works out for us. Now it's just gonna be, you know, tried and true testing. Will it work? Will it last? How long will it work? How long will it last for it? That kind of stuff. So either way, I'm stoked. So a little nervous, but very stoked at the same time. So this guy is good to go, buttoned up. We're gonna go ahead and clean up our other head now and then put it on the other side. $15 is done. All right. All of our heads are torqued down to spec. Real purple lube, paper towels. And we're gonna go ahead and start plopping our push rods in, a little bit on each end, and stick it in our hole and push it down all the way. We're just gonna repeat that process for all of them. we have our our rocker arm trays. We're gonna go ahead and lay these down. Instead of lubing up our bolt, we're just gonna lube up where the rocker sits on there. Alrighty, okay, we got all those down. Now what we're gonna do is torque them down to spec. Alright guys, our long block is officially together and assembled, so that's super awesome. What I am gonna do now is I am going to put some valve covers on. I'm just gonna tighten these down by hand for right now. It's gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna tape up these surfaces so nothing can get into our intake port. Okay. I'm gonna actually take off the LS-A alternator is because this alternator right here has a 2-port plug. You need a PMW to run this. So I'm gonna just check and see if the LS1 accessory drive will run on the same pulley. So I'm not sure yet, so we'll find out.
A few moments later.
This needs to line up here, which it definitely doesn't. So what I'm gonna try to see what kind of spacers I would need to make this line up efficiently, and then I'll get back to you. We still need to be further back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna provision the block really quick and get that notched out. So that is our notch that we just created. We're gonna test fit our alternator. Our alternator slips all the way back in there, just as it should. As you can see now, this is now too far backwards, which is perfect, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it out just a little bit to make it perfectly in line with this, using those spacers the ITC billet is gonna be sending us. Then we should be good to go.